Now, even if we keep Social Security strong for future generations, it's not enough to help seniors who are struggling with the cost of everything from gas to groceries, because we know that rising costs are hardest for folks on fixed incomes. And that's why I want to make retirement more secure by eliminating the income tax for retirees who are making less than $50,000 a year. This would completely eliminate income taxes for 7 million seniors. And two of those people are Ron and Jane. Since they retired, they've been spending more and more of their limited income on gas and groceries and healthcare premiums. They told me that they had bought a real tiny car, and they're happy with it, but with gas prices what they are, even that's tough. And they look fit enough to go biking, but at some point you need an automobile. So what we want to do is give people like Ron and Jane some relief. And the tax cut I'm proposing would eliminate income taxes that they pay and save them over $1,400 a year. Now, in contrast, John McCain believes the senior citizens living on modest incomes should continue to pay taxes. In fact, the tax cut for the rich that he's proposed would provide essentially no benefit to the vast majority of senior citizens. I also think it's time to end the outrage of CEOs cashing out while workers lose their pensions, and that's obviously a timely issue here in Ohio. Right now, bankruptcy laws are more focused on protecting banks than they are protecting pensions. And that's how John McCain wants to keep things for another 4 years. He voted against a proposal that would have made the claims of workers and retirees a priority in bankruptcy court. And he opposed a proposal that said companies should not unfairly cut the pension benefits of men and women who've worked their whole lives to earn them. I believe that's not fair. That's not the America that I believe in. I think it's time to stop cutting back the safety net for working people while we protect golden parachutes for the well-off. If you work hard and you play by the rules, then you've earned your pension. You negotiated it. You gave up wages in order to have a more secure future. And if a bankruptcy goes, if a company goes bankrupt, workers should be a top priority, not just an afterthought. So as president, I'll limit the circumstances when retirement benefits can be cut and increase the wages and benefits that workers can claim in bankruptcy court. We'll require companies to disclose their pension fund investments. We'll put an end to the outrage of executives getting bonuses while workers watch pensions disappear. And we'll make sure that no American goes bankrupt just because they get sick. Finally, we're not going to help people reach a secure retirement unless we encourage savings. But today, personal savings is at an all-time low, as the average American has seen their wages or incomes flatline or even decline at the same time as costs for everything are going up. It's become very difficult to save. In fact, we have a negative savings rate. The average family has about $10,000 in credit card debt that they're having to deal with. 75 million working Americans today don't have the retirement, the employer-based retirement plans that the previous generation counted on. And that's why I've proposed an automatic workplace pension. There's going to be no red tape or complicated forms. Employers will provide a direct deposit of a small percentage of each paycheck into your account. You can add to it, or you can opt out of it at any time. So it's going to be optional. But Ron, we were discussing the fact that had it not been for the United Methodist Church requiring that a small percentage of Ron's paycheck go into his retirement account, he would not have the same pension that he and Jane now rely on. And employers will have an easy opportunity to match employee savings. If you switch jobs, your savings will roll over into your new employer system. If you become self-employed, you'll be able to control your account. Studies show that about 80% of Americans will enroll if given the option to pursue our type of plan. And we'll also help middle-class families start their own nest egg by matching 50% of the first $1,000 saved. A match that will be directly deposited into your savings account, a tax cut that will truly encourage savings, investment, and wealth creation. These steps will put a secure retirement within the reach of millions of Americans. So let me just conclude by saying this. Since the New Deal, we've had a basic understanding in America that if you work hard and you pay into the system, you've earned the right to a secure retirement. And that's the promise that was kept for Michelle's parents, for so many families here in Ohio and across the country. That's the promise that was kept for my grandmother. As Michelle said, my grandmother, she's now 85. She's living in Hawaii. I keep on trying to convince her to come live with us. For some reason, she would rather live in Hawaii. I don't know what she's thinking. And you know what she's thinking. Well, you got that Hawaiian shirt on. So. But some of you may have heard when I won the Democratic nomination a couple of weeks ago. The one person who was watching who couldn't travel to see me was my grandmother. She has osteoporosis. She helped raise me. If it hadn't been for her, I would not have had the opportunities that I had. Because I was raised by a single mom, and so she was there along with my grandfather as a foundation for us as we were growing up. She was able to have a secure retirement because of Social Security, because of pensions from her job. She is not a burden. She continues to be a source of joy, a source of inspiration. And when we go visit her, my grandchildren have, my children have a chance to know their great-grandfather and to hear the stories of her life, and my grandfather's life, and my mother passed away. And so knowing she's secure is so important to me. It's so important to, I think, this country, that we know that each generation is giving something back and getting something back in return. That's what America's all about. That's looking out for each other. If we keep the promise today that has been made, we're not just valuing work and workers, we'll be keeping our businesses and our economy strong for the next generation. I think that's a future that's worth fighting for, and with your help, that's what I intend to do when I'm President of the United States. Thank you very much, everybody.